Hey, what's up? It's Comic 95, the Savior, and yeah, I want to just rant to you guys about something that's actually happening right now. And I don't want to scare people. Use your brain. We're all adults or close to being an adult here. That goes for you 17, 16-year-olds that think that you're 5 years old. Yes, you're almost grown, and back in the day, you would have been pregnant or the father of somebody at your age. You're grown. Okay, back on subject. Use your own brain. I'm telling you my story, my experience. This is not to scare you out of coming to Japan or scare you out of doing this line of work. But this is the scary, creepy side of teaching English, specifically as a foreign female, especially if you happen to have a personal and or social life. Now, in my defense, I am a YouTuber. I have a Tinder account. I have an OnlyFans. I have Instagram, Twitter, everything else. I understand that naturally I'm going to attract a few more weirdos than the average person. But this has been something going on long before I started any of this stuff. It's only amplified it. But to be honest, I don't know whether this has anything to do with those things or not. I literally just got an email from somebody asking me for a private English lesson. They gave no details about themselves. No age, no learning goals, nothing. And they even used their iCloud email. With all of that stuff said, something told me right from the start from the message, because I am a veteran, I am a seasoned English teacher, I've been here for a minute, don't teach this person. For starts, I knew something was wrong because they're not telling me what their goals are. Normally when somebody messages you, they'll tell you, I would like to have a trial lesson and at this location, my English level is this, when are you available, if this is a match, please let me know, something like that. For you to just be like, tell me about your English classes. Bitch, you read my ad. You got my email information from Hello Sensei. Why are you contacting me asking me to tell you? Read the information that you got my email from. And so the scary part that I also don't like about all of this is Hello Sensei doesn't really, all of these teaching apps, including Enjoy Lesson, they're really nitpicky and they'll get right on it if you don't reply to a student's email within a decent amount of time. But they don't seem to have a really good protection system up for creepy students that contact you. So I will give them their props. They normally side in your favor. Like if a student says, this person didn't reply to my email, whatever, they'll side in your favor as far as that goes. But I don't know, I don't feel safe about it because of a couple of things. And the biggest part that I have a problem with is I don't think it's mandatory, but you're heavily encouraged to have a photo of yourself in your profile, if not multiple photos. But they don't require students to do that. So you're literally meeting a totally random mystery student. And unlike Enjoy Lesson, where students can have a profile too, Hello Sensei doesn't even give that option. You're getting a random email from somebody and possibly a random phone call or text message. You don't know this person's name. You don't know their age. You don't know their background, where they work, nothing. All you know is that they got your email from the site. And that's if they even choose to tell you that. So yeah, it's like really creepy. So I immediately messaged back literally a minute later saying I wasn't available for a couple of reasons. One, I knew that what attracted them was my low price. And two, I knew that they also didn't really want an English lesson. They probably saw me on Tinder, Instagram, somewhere else, and they were like, oh my God, I can meet this girl at a cafe. All I gotta do is pay her like, $20, $30, great deal. Because I only charge $15 for trial lessons. And so I'm thinking to myself like, no, don't do this. It's a scam. This person knows you from somewhere else. You can tell by the tone of the message. And sure enough, it got confirmed. They didn't say that to me, but after I told them that I wasn't available, I sent a very generic reply, just like how their message asking for the lesson was very generic, with no greetings, nothing else, and they wrote to me in Japanese. I wrote them back in English saying that I wasn't available to teach them. And they immediately replied back saying why in Japanese, like, doshite. And I'm like, because I said no. Like, why are you emailing me back? Stop. That's how I know you're not a serious student. Serious students will move on. They're not going to argue with me back and forth. Then if that's not enough, I didn't reply back immediately. They sent me another email, literally less than a minute later. This all just happened a few minutes ago. Sent me another message saying I want to be taught by you. I want it to be taught by you. I know that. What you really mean is you want to date me. You want to go on a date with me, and your broke ass is going to pay those few $15 to meet me because I would never meet you under normal circumstances. How you met me through somewhere like Tinder or something else like that. So yeah, I just really hate the anonymity. I can't say that word, where you don't know who you're meeting. You don't know their age. You don't know where they, got your information from, because I'm assuming it's Hello Sensei based off of what they said, but I don't really know. So yeah, it's just really scary and creepy. And I talked about another situation before. I don't know if I ever mentioned it to you guys, or if I left it in a draft, or if I just talked about it on Patreon, but I remember somewhere on Patreon, at least it was a draft if I didn't publish it, I talked about how there was a guy who had messaged me asking for a lesson, and when I gave him the dates and times that I was available, they didn't reply back, waited like a whole week, and then claimed that they were on some sort of like business trip in Osaka, and this is since I've been in Tokyo. And I was like, oh, well, I'm no longer available anymore. And they're like, what do you mean you're no longer available? But it says you're available these dates, times, whatever. I'm like, I have other students. And it's so crazy that like these Japanese people inside their mind, they think that they can just have a lesson with you whenever they want to. And if you don't say yes to them, specifically these Japanese men, they like lose their shit. And so don't get me wrong, these are the few unicorns. Most people are cordial. If I tell them that I can't teach them, I'm not available, or I can't offer them a lesson, they don't ask anything else, they move on. But the few ones that do like play 20 questions with you, those are the ones that are scary. So I ignored his messages. I didn't even reply back to him. I just left it alone. But it scares me knowing that these people like have my email address, etc. And so I really should have made a separate email for these, which I do have separate emails for other business things. But yeah, I really like just don't like the fact that like these people are like contacting me, and the fact that they can't just move on. It's like, if I say I'm not going to teach you, why would you want to beg me or try to guilt trip me into seeing you anyway? Because if you are serious, why would you want somebody that decided to cancel your lesson? He didn't even plan a lesson, I might add. He didn't even ask to schedule us. He asked for information about my classes. I'm like, you paid information for my information. I'm pretty sure you saw my information about my classes. This is not the time to ask questions. This is the time for you to tell me when you want your lesson. You're not a serious student. I know from personal experience. So, yeah, I'm sorry I'm all over the place because in the heat of the moment, but it really upsets me. It makes me so irritated that there's like no real protection for you. Don't know where these people come from, and then it's like they can't stand like I was saying with that guy. I literally argued back and forth with him. He was trying to convince me that because he was on his business trip, he couldn't get back to me, and I'm like, dude, you sleep, you eat, you breathe, you probably fucked random Asian prostitutes while you were on your business trip too. Trust me, I know for a fact you had downtime to use your phone. It takes 2 seconds to tell me in your email, I'm on a business trip, sorry, but I can't this week. Or, I'm sorry, I'm busy this week, how about next week? All you have to do. I don't go on lessons with students that have bad communication. That's how I see it. You're a risk. I have to worry about, are you going to show up for your trial lesson or not? Because if you don't show up for the trial lesson, now you wasted my time and my money, because now I don't get reimbursed for my transportation. And another student that I could have booked for that time slot, I gave up for you. I don't do that. So if your communication is poor, automatic, nope, not going to have you as a student. That's how I see it. And in this case, you waited an entire week. You think you could schedule a lesson with me the next day? That's not the way that this works. Not to mention, the site doesn't have a setup where you change your availability every single week, every single day. You give your general availability as to what times is possible to have a lesson. Just because it says I'm available Monday morning does not mean I'm going to be available this Monday morning. It means, generally speaking, you can schedule a lesson on Monday mornings, if you get what I mean. So yeah, it's just so crazy, the entitlement. And the fact that instead of being like, oh, okay, they're not available, let me figure out why they can't teach me a lesson. Why? It says whatever. Bitch, how about you pay real money and go to a real language school instead of, not extorting, but basically taking advantage of the fact that people are desperate for money. Desperate to have their own students and undercharging them, or underpaying them, I should say, because even although as a language tutor you make more money than what the Eikaiwas will pay you because you're teaching on your own, for the student they're still getting a great deal because they pay the Eikaiwas even more money than what they're giving you. A lot of these Japanese people, they're on the site to look for the cheapest language lessons possible, not for quality. So you deal with 2 different type of students. One student is the one that just wants to meet hot foreigners, go and date them, fuck them, or at least look like they have a foreign relationship, a relationship with a foreigner. Or number 2, the people that are serious about learning English, but they want to pay as little as possible to do it. One or the other, and both are bad. So yeah, just really, really upsets me, keeps me. I'm probably going to continue messaging me or something. If he does, I will contact Hello Sensei, and I will, block the email. But it's just so weird and creepy and strange that these people do crazy crap like that. And so this is the reason why you want to keep your prices high. This is why you don't lower them. Because when you do, you attract crazy students, people that are not serious about learning English. You attract people that are looking for sex, attract people that are looking for dates, people that saw you from another app, and they're like, oh, I can't afford to take this person out for yakiniku, but I can afford to pay $5. Or some of them, in fact, I don't even say some of them, a lot of them don't even want to pay your cafe fees. And I used to be okay with that too, but now it's like, no. If I go out with you, you need to buy me whatever we're getting at a cafe, and you're paying for my transportation. Because you be paying this much money or more for regular eikaiwa. Don't cheat me. You already paying me pennies. The least you can do is buy me food and drink and pay for my transportation too. That's the way I see it. We're already going to a cheap ass cafe, so that scared me. I thought that was my email. It's my boyfriend messaging me. So yeah. Anyway, I'm done. Just want to rant about that for a second, but yeah, it's just so scary and so creepy. It's like there's no real protection. Like, if you decide to say no to students, they can be completely crazy. Like, what if this person makes another email address or uses another email that they already have to message me again, and then it's time to send a more formal message explaining what type of lesson they want, etc. And that's why I didn't bother to tell him why I was turning him down. Because if I do, then he'll be like, oh, I need to learn from my mistake. Let me give a more detailed, email explaining what type of lesson I want, etc. Because I've met crazy people like that too. I talked about it on YouTube, I think, recently, with that dude that was, I think, pretending to be Japanese, because I don't think he was Japanese, but let's say he was. It was like, dude, you clearly don't need English lessons. It was very, very awkward, and he did not look anything like how I imagined him being, and it was like, yeah, you're clearly here to make this a date. You're not trying to practice English at all. You're not here for making friends. You're here to look for dating an exotic foreigner. You want to have eye candy, arm candy, whatever you want to call it. I'm not doing that crap. I'm here to teach real English language lessons. I don't teach Koreans. I don't teach Indians. I don't teach Europeans. If you are not Japanese, I don't do lessons with you. If you are Japanese and you give me any type of, whatever suspicion that your goal is not to really learn English, but rather to date, talk, or F me, I'm out. Sometimes it happens after I meet the student. Sometimes I find out, during the email process. But I hate that it's so much harder to weed these people out because you can't even see their picture. So, I have to ask you questions. I have to ask you, can you send me a picture? I have to ask you, tell me your age. What is your job? More information. I get it. There's a scary side for them, too. It's like, well, what if you're not really the girl inside the picture? What if, you're trying to steal my identity? Whatever type crap. I understand from their side, too. But again, as the foreigner in this country, as the person offering the service, this is scary for me as a business person. I'm not sending you a product. I'm physically coming to meet you. That's scary. So, especially since a lot of these lessons you end up doing in the evening after people's work, because most students here want to have their language lessons on weekdays after work. So, that's it. I'm done with this video. Just want to rant to you guys for a second because that really just creeped me out. It's like, dude, stop messaging me. Like, why are you sending me back-to-back emails? I said I'm not available. Good luck with your search for a teacher. Go away. Leave me alone. Do not argue with me and try to fight. Why can't I have a lesson with you? I wanted you. Stop. That's not going to make me change my mind. You're making me want to pick up the phone and dial 119. Quit. So, that's it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. He just messaged me again. Oh my god, this dude is crazy. This dude is crazy. He's crazy. He said, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm 22 years old, Japanese. I want to go to working holiday someday, so I want to learn English. Please start from the basics. Dude, I said no. I said no. I'm finna dox you. I'm doxing him. I'm sorry. Well, you can't see his full email anyway, but I'm going to show this to you. Do y'all see this? I'm not making this crap up to you. This is going on right now. You're not going to get this video for a minute. I'm not lying to you. I'm not bullshitting. I just showed it to you. He literally just said, I forgot to introduce myself. It says, Hello Sensei. Hello Sensei. At the top, do you see the title of the email? But yes, you can't see his name, but at least I didn't show his email address. And so it's like, dude, you're grown. And that's another thing, too. I'll also add that, too, for those of you that are teaching private English lessons. I don't do lessons for people under the age of 25. And I'm 26, my ad. I'll be 27 this year. I do not do lessons for people under the age of 25. Because it's a much higher likelihood that you are not serious about learning English. Two, on top of that, it is also extremely likely that you are trying to either, one, pretend like I'm your girlfriend, or two, you are trying to fuck me. It's extremely likely. You probably found me from Tinder. You're like, that's the same chick that I saw on Tinder that I didn't match with. More than likely. No. And the solution should not be, well, then you should have a Tinder account. You shouldn't do whatever. I'm young. I have the right to have my own personal life outside of being an English teacher, doing work, etc. I can do whatever the F I want to. Having a Tinder account because you want to have a boyfriend, husband, dating, does not mean that I don't deserve to have a regular day job and make money from that either. That should not interfere and have anything to do with that crap. I don't understand the correlation. Because I'm saying this because I know somebody's going to say it. I'm sorry, y'all, but this is like really freaking me out. It's like, dude, he just sent me 3 emails, y'all. Less than 30 minutes, back to back. No reply. After I said I am not available. What do you not get? You deal with stalkerish students like this every once in a while. It doesn't happen every day, but it happens more often than I would like for it to. And it really creeps me out. And in this case, this is a Japanese person, I'm pretty sure. But I've had white people do this. I've literally had a guy that was French that pretended to be Japanese, and he only admitted it to me right before the lesson that he was actually a Frenchman. And I'm like, why are you race baiting, fishing, whatever? Like, just go to a gaijin bar. Use Tinder. That is so fucking scary. And it really creeps me out because it also makes me wonder, because I've had dates where I've been stood up. It makes me wonder, are these people that have stood me up really white people that were pretending to be Japanese? And they just wanted to see me, so they lured me out to some location. I'm not trying to give y'all ideas, but I'm just saying it really does freak me out as a foreigner here. So be careful, ladies. Have age limits for what you do. Like, for me, the older the better, the student. The older the better. There's old creep people. Yes, there are. Don't get me wrong. I've met some of them too. But young people almost always waste time. Raise your price. Raise your price. Raise your standards. Don't waste your time. Just don't. I'm not here to offer baby, beginner, newbie lessons. No. So, that's it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. He's probably going to send me more emails. And if he does, I'll have to write it down in the comments because I ain't replying to that shit. But this nigga crazy. He literally just sent me 3 emails back to back. One saying why. Another one saying he wanted me as teacher. Now this one, him introducing himself like, I didn't ask for introduction. I said I'm not teaching you. Go away. So, and that's how you should have known I really don't want to teach you, because I didn't even say no after you introduced yourself. Even without you telling me your age. Even without you telling me your purpose. I knew you were full of shit. And I decided from the bat, no, I'm not teaching a lesson. And if you're new to Japan, if you've been there for a minute and you haven't been in my situation before, you're probably like, girl, you overreacting. What if he was just trying to ask lessons and he didn't think to send you that message? Trust me, it is very unlikely that was the case. I've been doing this for years. I know from personal experience. I know. I've given the benefit of the doubt. There's always the exception to the rule. There is a possibility that I could be completely wrong. That's why I did not show his email. He ain't threatened me. He ain't calling out my name or anything like that. But I'm telling you, that is threatening behavior. If someone tells you no and I decline, you go away. You don't argue with it, fight it, convince me, or try to coerce me, convince me into meeting you, teaching you. Sign up for real lessons at a regular Kaiwa then. Find another teacher. Why do you need to have me? That's how I know you're not serious. Because you really want to learn, why are you going after me? Why? So that's it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And now I'm finally done with this video. Again, if he sends me more crazy emails, I will post the pictures on Patreon. And I will talk about it in my comment section here on YouTube. So that's it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And yeah, I will update you guys soon on some other stuff, hopefully not about this, but I hope you watch another video. If you're living in Japan, please tell me, like, leave a comment down below. Have you ever run into any like crazy students here that have like send you like stalkerish messages, or that didn't understand how to like let go and be like, okay, they're not going to teach me? Like, I've had this happen a few times at this point, just being here in Tokyo in less than a year. So yes, crazy, just in a few months of being here. I haven't even been here for a year yet. Okay, I'm sorry, I had to add more to this video and make it even longer. So since I actually recorded this video, literally days later, the exact same person found me on another teaching site and sent me another message. And they pretended to be a completely different person, and I knew it was them by the way that they were messaging me. And to be totally honest, I don't even know if this is a white, Japanese, or whatever type of race this person was. I have no idea what their nationality is, their race. I don't know what this person looks like, but I know it was the exact same person. And they literally like continued to try to play the same game with me, where they were trying to pretend like they were trying to get actual English lessons, and they weren't. I had somebody message me claiming that they were looking for music lessons, that they wanted somebody to help them with writing English lyrics for like whatever, their job or something. They had to desperately meet me either that night or tomorrow. And it's like, come on, like, how creepy is that? And keep in mind that most people would have accepted this, because why would you think that your student is going to be some crazy, psychotic, gaijin hunting freak? Normally you would accept a lesson like that, especially if you're in a situation where you are in need of money. Always keep your guard up, use your brain, trust your gut, and use, your tuition, whatever you want to call it. Just be really safe. And so as I expressed inside this video, I felt bad for making an assumption about him, but he showed his true colors. A normal student that really wanted to learn from you, if you told them that you're too busy, you're not available, whatever, you don't go into a ton of detail with them, they'll just find another teacher. They're not going to beg you to teach them lessons. And so it comes at a cost. If you charge too little, you attract creeps like this. You charge too much, then you get no students. You really have to just, think to yourself, use your brain, and value your life over getting a few dollars. So yeah, like that's super, super creepy. And again, this person used a totally different name, but I was able to use my brain. I'm a YouTuber. I deal with messages, DMs, emails all the time. I could tell that I was dealing with the same person, despite the fact that I had no photo. I knew it was the same person. And like the fact that this person even bothered to use a completely different email to contact me. So they tried to contact me 3 different times from, 2 different places, pretending to be 3 different people. This person's insane. If you're really trying to learn English, why would you waste nearly a week trying to have a lesson with the exact same person? There are people that are charging less than what I was. This person specifically wanted me. That's really scary. And again, if something were to happen to me, nobody would come looking for me. Nobody would care. And on top of that, like, the police are really slow to handle anything, especially when it's dealing with foreigners. There's a lot of different laws and rules here in Japan with privacy, for even if you want to run away. But yeah, that's all a whole nother story. Just wanted to say, that's really scary and really creepy. And yeah, apparently my gut feeling was right. This person was not going to give up on trying to have a so-called lesson with me. They desperately wanted to meet me. Out of all the other foreigners, they wanted to have a lesson with me. What they were going to do, should I have met them? I have no idea. Maybe they would just stare at me and be a creep. I've had creepy students like that before. But regardless, it makes you feel really uneasy and unsafe as a girl here in Japan. And I told you guys before in a previous video, I still have not figured out who that person is. I have 2 different weird situations. I keep getting random packages from somebody and I don't know who it's from. And 2, the other weird thing that happened to me, the craziest thing out of all the things that happened to me in Japan, somebody came specifically to my door in the middle of the night, like almost 2 a.m., rung my doorbell and just stood there, didn't say a single word, and it scared the mess out of me. I literally had a panic attack and got up out of my sleep. I am a single foreign woman, I'm young, and I live by myself. That is scary, especially when I consider the fact that I don't know how that person found my address, what they wanted. They didn't leave me a message. They just stood there and stared directly into my camera like a freak. And my address is very specific. It's not like I'm on the first floor or something. So, yeah. That's it. Sorry for scaring you, but I'm just saying, like, this is why you have to be careful with who you choose to meet, and this is why I ignore tons of messages, and I do turn down money. So, that's it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, you guys. Bye.